Next up on the Night Beat, a live update on a baby found outside a local hospital. And a decomposing body is found in the basement. Homicide detectives are on the scene. Plus, see what police face this week as they train with pepper spray.
Dave Thomas is still looking for people who haven't tried Wendy's new fresh stuffed pitas.
Peggy Shea.
Yep.
I see here you haven't tried our pitas.
Oh, yes, I have. And they're delicious. So fresh, you know. I really like the one with chicken and ranch dressing. I also like the garden veggies. Of course, my favorite's the chicken Caesar. Now, my daughter, she loves the classic Greek.
We stuff our warm, soft pitas with fresh vegetables and tender chunks of all white meat chicken.
Must be a different Peggy Shea.
Wendy's fresh stuffed pitas. Don't be the last one to try them.
We could win this contest with that photograph.
But we need a reprint. Oh, no! The deadline's today! The negative!
No. I can't tell.
I'm not sure! I found it, I think.
Hooray!
Is this some kind of sick joke?
Yikes!
You picked the wrong negative!
They should have had the Kodak Advantage system with an index print so you can see what you're ordering.
Both the new Nissan Altima and the new Honda Accord are great-looking cars. Both come with 150 horsepower engines, but the Altima has more torque. Both have available CD audio systems, but Altima CD is standard. And both have sticker prices, but the Altima's is $1,500 less. How can two cars that seem so similar be so different? Maybe it's because Nissan believes another way to enjoy the ride is to enjoy the price. The new Nissan Altima.
Monday night, NBC will take you on an emotional thrill ride. 2 words that strike fear in the hearts of men and women. 2 words. Blind date. Monday night, you'll see blind dates that are too young, too close.
Dad?
Dad? Oh!
Too early. Too Morgan Fairchild.
No!
Believe it. Blind date Monday. You may never date again.
We're putting it all together. The Peacock, NBC.
Live, local, late-breaking news. Plus, Chopper 11. Now, Channel 11 News.
We'd want the mother to come forward so we can make sure that she gets treatment and that we know who little Jacob's mother is.
A baby boy is found abandoned at a local hospital, and the mother is believed to be only 12 years old. Good evening, I'm Darius Chisholm. Baby Jacob is now in good condition after he was found in a cardboard box outside McGee Women's Hospital. The 6-day-old baby boy is white and weighs 4 pounds 7 ounces. Channel 11's Sarah Barr has been following this story all day long, and she joins us live now from Oakland with the latest. Sarah.
Well, Darius, right now it's 48 degrees, cold enough to see your breath. But when baby Jacob was found this morning, police say it was about 44 degrees, and they say that's way too cold for a baby.
I think she put it somewhere where she thought it would be found, but she's taken a big risk, especially on these cold mornings, that baby might not have been found alive.
Baby Jacob is being treated for hypothermia. He was found at Forbes and Kraft by a McGee police officer. At first, Richard Keenan thought the Avon box was trash, but later he looked inside and found the baby wrapped in a receiving blanket, towel, and comforter. Police say the child wasn't crying. A note was attached. It reads, "This is Jacob. Please help him. He's 6 days old. I can't keep him. I'm only 12. He's very good baby." Commander Gwen Elliott says she's seen 4 or 5 abandoned baby cases in her 22-year career, the last being 6 months ago in Homewood, where a newborn baby girl was found on the front porch. Cases like this upset Elliott, not only as a police officer, but as a mother, grandmother, and former foster parent.
Women do not have to do this, and if this mother is only 12, it even pains me more that she would go through this alone.
And police say baby Jacob is now in the custody of Children and Youth Services, and they say when he's healthy enough and can be released from the hospital, that he could go into foster care until the mother is found. Meantime, police are urging the mother to step forward so that she can get the proper medical attention she needs. Reporting live from Oakland, I'm Sarah Barr, Channel 11 News.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Police say, according to state law, the baby can be adopted if the mother is not found within 6 months. The badly decomposed body of a woman is found in the basement of a home in the Elliott section of town. Tonight, police are calling it a homicide, and they're looking for the victim's live-in boyfriend to answer some questions. The Allegheny County coroner removes the badly decomposed body of a woman. It's so bad the coroner's having a hard time making a positive ID. Neighbors say they smelled a foul odor coming from this home on Chartiers Avenue.
Police were called to this address by the landlord who came here and found the body of a female.
Here in the basement, the body lay wrapped in blankets for what police believe to be at least 1 week. While they won't speculate on how she was killed, Commander Ron Freeman will say,
Based on what we're seeing there, we're treating it as a homicide, and I would be shocked if it was anything but that.
Police collected bags full of evidence as they look for clues to what happened.
We have recorded episodes of domestic violence coming out of the first floor.
And now the search begins for the live-in boyfriend of this victim.
He was here when the landlord arrived and found the body. He called the police. The police arrived. The tenant from the first floor was no longer here.
The coroner will not release the name of the victim until he can make a positive ID, and we're also waiting for the coroner to release the cause of death. 2 people are injured after a car accident in Pin Hills. This was the scene this afternoon as police tried to piece together what caused this accident. Police are releasing few details at this time. We do know that a rescue crews had to cut one of the victims from the wreckage, and they were flown to the hospital. One of the men injured in yesterday's explosion in Connellsville is home from the hospital, but another man remains in critical condition. That blast rocked the Allegheny Power Storage Facility. Neighbors say their homes shook from the explosion. Firefighters say the boiler exploded while it was being lit for the first time this season. Police in East Katanning arrest a man wanted for kidnapping. Late last night, police arrested 30-year-old James Earl Cousins. Cousins is accused of dragging 22-year-old Brenda Haas from a home on Wednesday night. Cousins is in the Armstrong County Jail, held on $50,000 bond. Tomorrow morning, these 3 young men convicted in a murder-for-hire plot return to the Beaver County Courthouse to face a possible death sentence. Brian Samuel, Peter Schoonover, and Trazis Durham were convicted Friday of killing Samuel's parents. Prosecutors say Samuel was to pay the other 2 men to shoot his parents. The jury returns in the morning to hear testimony in the death penalty phase of this trial. A Scott Township man could face charges after his townhouse goes up in flames this morning. Plus, neighbors there are without water tonight as a result of that fire. Channel 11's Ron Jay has more.
The fire broke out early this morning in the middle of 9 townhouses in Chartiers Terrace. After spending the night at his brother's house, Ron Minson, seen here in the orange hat, returned to the unit where he lives alone. He tells me he was asleep on his couch when the fire broke out. When he couldn't put it out, he ran out his back door. The Allegheny County Fire Marshal sees it differently.
That of a fire that started with an open flame and was not a smoldering type fire, which now reverts to the possible actions of an occupant in the structure, and the county detectives were called in.
Today, neighbors are praising their fire company for acting so quickly. Hitching says if the blaze had reached the attic, all 9 units could have gone up in flames. The Pennsylvania American Water Company says the firefighters may have goofed, however, at the fire hydrant, causing 2 water main breaks.
As they were shutting the water off, they shut it off a little too quickly, and it caused a water hammer, and inadvertently it caused the 2 breaks.
In the past 15 years of opening a fire hydrant, I've never heard of being able to open a fire hydrant too quickly or closing one too quickly.
This is Ron Jay, Channel 11 News.
And Allegheny County detectives say starting a fire, even in your own house with an open flame, could lead to charges of reckless endangerment or even arson. A Fayette County teen heads to court tomorrow to face arson charges. 18-year-old Victor Rozek of Grindstone is accused of setting at least 8 fires in that town. Another 18-year-old also faces arson charges. Police think the fires were set as part of a gang initiation. There have been 27 fires in that area since January. Forward Township Police are still on the lookout for an arsonist responsible for a huge tire fire. This was the scene last week as crews battled the blaze at a tire dump in Forward Township. State environmental and fire officials continue cleanup efforts there. It took crews there days to put out the flames and flare-ups. And still no arrest in another arson, this one in Washington County. A week ago today, fire gutted this warehouse at the Washington Mold Machine and Foundry. Fire investigators say an arson detecting dog helped them determine if the fire was deliberately set. A school shut down in spite of protest by parishioners gets a new life. The Risen Lord School closed due to rising cost and lower enrollment has been turned into an education, youth and adult center now, a center the church dedicated today.
It always will stay in the hearts of the people. But at the same time, there's been a lot of healing, an enormous amount of healing, and looking and saying, we have to move onward.
Father Galvin has received praise for turning that building into a place that offers religious classes to a gymnasium. $3,000 went into renovating that school into an education center. It is hoped that the center will continue to play a big part in the Catholic community as well. More accusations of sexual harassment tonight at the Westmoreland County Juvenile Detention Center. Regis Tiber was assistant director of the center last year. He lost his job when an investigation found he exposed himself and improperly touched female employees. Now 3 women who worked for Tiber have filed suit against him. They say they were subject to Tiber's offensive behavior. Some local women head from the nation's capital after taking a stand against domestic violence. Last night, women from all over the country came together hoping to end the silence and put a stop to domestic abuse. Local events were also held in Market Square today to remember those lost to violence. Both events mark the beginning of a week without violence. A Pitt band member files charges claiming a referee hit her in the head. Sandra Worsbiski says it happened after last weekend's University of Pittsburgh football game. The band member says the referee hit her in the head on his way to the field, but the referee says he was just trying to avoid getting hit by an instrument. A possible strike with Amtrak has been delayed another week. Amtrak and the Maintenance Workers Union have one more week of cooling off before they continue negotiations. The rail company's employees want a wage increase that would put them on par with freight rail workers. Hundreds of thousands of passengers could be affected by an Amtrak strike. Making sure teachers make the grade. Ahead on the Night Beat, state lawmakers consider making teachers undergo annual testing. And in your face, see what rookie cops in Pittsburgh have to look forward to this week. Plus, blasting away 90 years of history to make way for the future. Now a live look through Tower Cam. Can we expect the blast of cold weather during the work week? Kevin Benson will tell us about it in a moment.
In a world of imitators, one has to look closely to find the original. Luckily, among 4x4s, an original bears these distinctive markings: full-time four-wheel drive, uniframe construction, quadricoil suspension, and an available V8. Features found together only on Jeep Grand Cherokee. There may be imitators, but there is only one original. Now lease a 98 Grand Cherokee for just $335 a month.
See your All-Star Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
What if someone offered you the chance to have a genetically perfect baby? A lot of controversy. A designer child. Don't you want the best for your child? How beautiful do you have? Children made to order.
On October 24th, one movie dares to take a look into our future.
Life expectancy, 32 years.
In the most compelling, chilling, controversial science fiction thriller of the year.
How perfect does your child have to be?
Gattaca, rated PG-13, opens everywhere Friday.
How come these things are so impossible to put on?
The cargo area inside the new Audi A4 Avant.
Remember the first time we did this?
Converts to a totally flat surface in seconds. Oops. It's for people who've fallen in love with the blast-to-drive A4 sports sedan, but could use a little more room.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, I love it in the morning.
The Audi A4 Avant. Get ready for the ride of your life.
Immediately, you've got
got 5 guys rushing you.
As soon as you come in the door, hey, what do you need? What are you looking for?
They won't let me think, have space, look at the stuff, make my own decision.
And you know their only motive is to get you to the highest price item in the store. They seem to be trained to be fake.
And by the time you're done, you spend twice as much as you went in there to spend.
At Best Buy, our product specialists are never pushy. They're just here to give you help, if you want it.
I want to be serviced, but I don't want to be sold.
If I want that, I'll let you know. Thank you.
My name's Dot Brooks. I live in Cranberry Township with my family. Where I live is very hilly, windy roads. The Taurus really seems to hug the road and really stays with the road, and I don't feel any slipping and sliding.
During Ford Family Days, get up to $2,000 cash back on the 97 Taurus, which Automobile Magazine reports just may be the best family car ever made. Hurry to Ford Family Days.
I think that I got a really good value for my money with the Ford.
See why the switch is on at your neighborhood Ford dealer.
Data, statistics, stuff with instruments, gauges, and stopwatches. What if you were to buy a car strictly with your left brain? If that car was the new Mazda 626, your right brain would be handsomely rewarded. The all-new Mazda 626. Retooled, refined, reborn.
This news segment is sponsored in part by Walmart.
Some Pennsylvania school teachers may need to hit the books after school in order to get teaching certificates. Debate is scheduled on controversial teacher certification bill. Under the proposal, teachers would be required to complete extra coursework to be certified every 5 years. A committee hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. Tonight, 3 escaped inmates from a Columbus, Ohio jail are back in custody. Now police are trying to figure out how they escaped. The trio did manage to jump out a second-story window. One of the men didn't get very far. He broke his leg in that jump. A couple crashing in on used toys remains on the run tonight. Detectives in Fayette County are searching for the Ohio couple accused of making phony returns. Police say Olin Wegner and Frida Irvin are charged with theft by deception, forgery, and a host of other charges. Investigators say the pair used phony receipts to get money back for children's toys at area school departments or area Hills department stores. Some Pittsburgh police officers will get a dose of pepper spray, and they asked for it. Starting tomorrow, these volunteers will show officers what to do if they're hit in the line of duty. Police Union President Smokey Hines says this training is unnecessary, but some officers say they would rather know what to expect. The Marines' first female jet fighter pilot has her wings. First Lieutenant Karen Tribbett had her wings pinned on at a ceremony in Mississippi this weekend. The Air Force and Navy have pinned female fighter pilots, but this is the first for the Marines. Tribbett will fly F/A-18 Hornet jets and will be stationed with her husband in California. President Clinton comes home after a week-long trip to South America. The president visited Venezuela, Brazil, and Argentina. President Clinton persuaded Argentina to agree to limiting greenhouse gases, although no specific terms were discussed. Clinton supporters say this is a sign of improving relations between the U.S. and South America. A 90-year-old Alabama building is history, and it only took 6 seconds. Take a look. This 10-story brick building was once the city's tallest building. It also served as a luxury hotel until the 1930s. It's since gone through several ownership changes before city officials decided it was time to bring it down.
This is Channel 11 Carnegie Science Center weather.
Thanks for having us on tonight here on Channel 11 News Night Beat. I'm Kevin Benson in the Channel 11 Weather Center. Another fine fall weekend in western Pennsylvania, but not far from here. The weather was kind of lousy this weekend. Let me show you some video from out along the eastern coast from Virginia Beach, also along the North Carolina and Virginia coastlines right on through the weekend. What could be referred to as a nor'easter, a storm rolling up along the shoreline with high winds, heavy rain, down trees, flooded streets, high waves crashing over seawalls along the coast out there, and also causing some serious coastal erosion. That storm continues to taper off, and in fact they're calling for some much more fair weather coming up here over the next several days out there along the coast. So that was not quite that far from Pittsburgh. We ended up just on the back edge of that thing. I'll show you that on the satellite coming up in just a second. First, temperatures, it's down at 48 degrees currently. 48 will drop off to a low of about 40 degrees. Out in the suburbs, it'll get a little cooler than 40 degrees. In the city, it'll stay a notch or two warmer, but about 40 degrees. And the high temperature today went to 66. Relative humidity, 88%. Wind is coming along at about 2 or 3 miles per hour. Generally a clear sky out there, and that's what we expect, a fair sky overnight. 66 was the high at Science Center, 67 at Latrobe, 66 at Morgantown, 63s at International Airport in Washington, where Washington was down for a low this morning at 35. So was Butler, 34, 35 degrees for a low this morning. So you can see quite a nice recovery this afternoon. Normal high is 61 degrees, so we were just about where we should be. Take a look at the storm warning Doppler 11 radar, Pittsburgh's only live Doppler radar, and we're scanning the region for unsettled weather, and right now we have none on the board at this time. However, as you look at the Earthwatch satellite system, that is what you can see is that storm moving right up along the coast, and we ended up just on the back fringe of this thing. They had some rain in Allentown over the weekend, a little rain in Philadelphia, and then way out along the coast here, especially down along the coast of Virginia and the Carolinas. They had quite a bit of rain through the course of the weekend. Clouds extended back into central Pennsylvania. However, for us in western PA, just another fine fall weekend. Some real nice weather. Hope you had a chance to enjoy it, because there's quite a change coming up as we head later into the week. We'll have some fair weather tonight, and also another pretty fair day coming up tomorrow with a high of about 60 or 62 degrees. Here's a front that is going to pass dry tomorrow, and the first thing you'll notice is the cooler temperatures, slightly cooler coming up on Tuesday, but there's a batch of some sharply colder air, and that'll start to roll in here as we head later into the week. Here's the forecast from Channel 11 and Carnegie Science Center for tonight. Mainly clear, low temperature 43 in the city, 39 in many suburbs. Tomorrow a few clouds early, then it'll go partly sunny, high 63 in the city, closer to 60 or 61 in the suburbs. Here comes the 5-day forecast now. A fair day coming up tomorrow, and then you'll notice clouds increasing on Tuesday, the high just 58 degrees. Then as you head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you'll see a variably cloudy sky, including just a few scattered showers, but most of the time probably not raining. But the main thing will be those cooler temperatures with highs in the 40s, lows in the 30s. And it's not out of the question later in the week that in some of the northern communities, there could even be a few flakes of snow mixing in. That is a possibility. So be on the lookout for that. There's a look at your forecast, and now with more, here's Darius.
All right, ahead in sports, the Steelers win big, and the Pins Roadshow continues to impress fans. We've got highlights coming up in sports.
This Channel 11 sports calendar is sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. Wednesday, the Penguins are in San Jose to play the Sharks. Friday, the Pens travel to Edmonton to face off against the Oilers. Saturday, the Pens continue their Canadian swing against the Canucks in Vancouver. Also on Saturday in college football, the Panthers travel to Rutgers and Duquesne plays Georgetown away. Sunday, the Steelers play at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This Channel 11 sports calendar has been sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Looking for sporting goods? They have a golf department. Dick's has a pro shop. They have a sneaker department. Dick's has a running track. They have a fishing department. Dick's has a sportsman's lodge. Dick's, the largest selection, the lowest prices guaranteed. Dick's, when you're ready to shop the majors.
With Plymouth, this is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Take, for example, Plymouth Neon. You get all this. And now these special savings. Get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% APR, so you can save over $2,700 in finance charges. One more time. This is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Plymouth Neon, only at your local Plymouth dealer.
You have to make sure when you're talking to people about kitchens that you really listen to what they're looking for.
The toilet, the tub, the sink, the whirlpool.
Whatever you can find at a design studio, you're also going to find at Home Depot.
And we have designers on staff.
I don't want you to come in here and be afraid. It's not intimidating. It's not a scary situation.
If you can dream it, they can design it and put it in for you. All you have to do is stand back and watch.
Give your kitchen or bath a bold look with quality Kohler fixtures. You'll find them at a guaranteed low price every day at the Home Depot.
They don't play for multi-year contracts. They don't play for shoe deals. They play for the game. And every week, the best play their way onto the pages of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, where high school football unfolds.
Everybody knows what a Cadillac is like. But wait a minute. Here's a whole new idea. It's a luxury revolution from the ground up. Catera. It's nimble, it's quick, it's the fastest growing luxury car in its class. This is luxury that looks convention in the eye and then winks. Isn't it time you took a test drive? Catera. It's the Caddy that zigs. Lisa Catera. See your Western Pennsylvania authorized Cadillac Catera dealer. Well, who is Lisa Catera?
If you see government waste or have had it with red tape, call the Channel 11 Whistleblower Hotline at 237-4910.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonas Cheney. You know, the Steelers notoriously have trouble winning in Cincinnati. And after last week's lackluster victory against the winless Colts and a slew of injuries to their receiving corps, well, the Steelers will take a win any way they can get it. And as it turned out, according to Coach Cowher, they played their best all-around football game of the season today. Steelers have been getting behind early a lot this year. Today is no different. Kajana Carter takes it in from the 6 on 3rd and goal. Bengals roar out to the 7-0 lead. Minutes later, though, Jeff Blake looking for Pickens. The ball will roll off his chest into the hands of Darren Perry. Look here for the interception. Then a 35-yard pass to Courtney Hawkins sets up this 11-yard shovel pass. It's nice. From Stewart to George Jones. Steelers botched the extra point, though. They trailed 7-6 early in the second quarter. After 2 Stewart interceptions, the Steelers D get a turnover of their own. Greg Lloyd recovers a fumble by Kajana Carter. Pittsburgh takes advantage on 4th and goal at the 1. Jerome, the bus, Bettis, the big second effort for the touchdown. Steelers lead 13-7 at the half. Second half now. Steelers drive the ball 68 yards on 12 plays. Yancey Thigpen's 11-yard TD catch caps the drive off. 27 Steelers. Bengals cut it to a 10-point deficit off the foot of Doug Pelfrey. This 34-yarder makes it 20-10. When the Steelers get the ball back, they pick away Stewart to Thigpen for 10 yards. There you go. Then a great timing pattern to Thigpen for another 16 yards into Cincinnati territory. Bettis then will rumble for 9 yards to the Bengals 25 into field goal territory, which set up Norm Johnson's 44-yarder, making the score 23-10. But watch this. Bengals trying to cut the lead to 6. Blake hits Carl Pickens on the crossing route. He's streaking down the left sideline. Carnell Lake will track him down, knock the ball out of his hands, out of the end zone. That's a touchback. Steelers retain possession. Bengals can't recover. Pittsburgh wins today, 26-10, moved to 5-2 on the season. That Steeler victory sets up a big showdown at home next week against Jacksonville. For more on today's game, here's Sam Nover with his sideline report.
The Steelers have complained all year about not playing a complete football game, but they're getting closer every week. The Steelers now 5-2 and in a first-place tie with Jacksonville in the AFC Central Division.
This is it, and they beat us, at their place, and we've got to return the favor and beat us at home. But it's going to take a solid week of practice in order for us to do that.
Well, it's nice to be in that position and have those guys coming into our place next week, and it always takes a little help from some other people from time to time, and we're fortunate we got some today.
And in keeping with the play of his teammates, Cordell struggled mightily in the first half today. 2 of his passes were picked, while 6 others were tipped or deflected. But his second halves this season have been Rembrandt's.
And that just shows you he's a fighter. He comes out. If things don't working well, he stays with it. He stays with his guns, and he comes out. He does a great job. He's a guy that's always in the game, and regardless of what happens, you can count on Cordell when the chip's on the line.
He knows there's nothing he can't do with the football as long as he makes good decisions and continues to try to improve, and that's what he does every week. And we're proud of him, and we're hoping he continues to get better.
Well, myself and Shane, we talked at halftime and said what we need to do. And we just went back out, and we've accomplished what we were trying to get accomplished.
You talk about perfect timing. The Steelers have climbed back into a first-place tie in the AFC Central Division with Jacksonville at 5-2, just in time for their showdown next Sunday at Three Rivers Stadium. Reporting from Synergy Field in Cincinnati, Sam Nover, Channel 11 News.
Thank you, Sam. After a very scary month of October, Emmitt Smith picked a perfect time to score his first touchdown of the year. Dallas picked a perfect time to break their losing streak as the Cowboys beat Jacksonville at Texas Stadium. Jags trailed 19-14 in the fourth quarter when Mark Brunell finds Derek Brown in the back of the end zone for the 2-yard score. The two-point conversion made it 22-19 Jags. But the Cowboys, they do avoid losing 3 in a row. Yes, when Troy Aikman hits Darrell Johnson's replacement, that's Herschel Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Watch him break the tackles, running for the distance, 64 yards for the game-winning touchdown. Dallas wins 22-26. They move to 4-3. Jacksonville drops to 5-2. In Oakland, the Raiders looking to hand Denver the first defeat. They trailed 17-14 when Eric Turner scoops up the John Elway fumble. He's off to the races down the left sideline. That touchdown puts the Raiders in front 21-17. Then Napoleon Kaufman puts the game out of reach. An 83-yard touchdown run. This dash helped set a career high and a franchise best 227 yards on the day. Oakland gives up the late touchdown but holds on to beat Denver 28-25. Broncos fall to 6-1. Raiders are now 3-4. To the scoreboard, you see the Oakland score. Miami Dolphins down the Ravens. The Giants outlast the Lions in overtime. Eagles fly past the Cardinals by a tray. The Panthers, they blank the Saints, and the Jets, they stun New England 24-19. 49ers down the Falcons. Seahawks, they stop the Rams, and the Oilers win over Washington. After taking game 1 of the World Series last night, Florida had their ace on the mound, Kevin Brown, hoping to take a commanding 2-zip lead in the series before it shifts to Cleveland on Tuesday. Indians grab the early leadoff round, though. Dave Justice singles to right. Omar Vizquel comes around with the game's first run. It's 1-0. Florida tied the game at 1. Top of the 5th, Cleveland strings together 3 straight singles. That's Marquis Grissom. Grounds one through the left side, scoring Matt Williams. It's 2-1 Cleveland. 2 batters later, Bip Roberts with the seeing eye single up the middle. Sandy Alomar Grissom will come home. It's a 3-run inning for Cleveland. They lead 4-1. Then Sandy Alomar puts it away in the 6th. A 2-run blast off Brown makes it 6-1. That's the final. The series now heads to the Jake at Cleveland Tuesday, tied at 1. Going into the longest road trip of the year, Penn's head coach Kevin Constantine was hoping it would help this team bond and get accustomed to life without Mario. Halfway through the road trip, guess what? They're also getting accustomed to winning hockey games. A win in Florida would leave the Pens 3-0-1 at the midway point of the road trip. With the score tied at 1 in the first period, Martin Straka gave the Penguins the lead as he buried this pass from Rob Brown behind John Van Beesbrook, making the score 2-1. Then the Pens would extend their lead in the second period when Jaromir Jagr took the pass from Kevin Hatcher, wristed it. The shot past Van Beesbrook for a 3-1 Penguin lead. Now in the third, Penguins defenseman Jiri Slager. Jiri Slager puts this game out of reach. He deflects a nice pass from Jagr into the Panthers' net. Penguins led 4-1. That's the final. Pens 4, Panthers 1. Tom Barrasso picks up his 300th career victory with that win. Great day for Pittsburgh sports fans, and boy, I tell you, next Sunday is going to be a barn burner with Jacksonville here at Three Rivers.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Jonas. Ahead on the Night Beat, Halloween has gone to the dogs. We'll show you the Howl-O-Wieners when we come back.
This is Imagine TV.
Next time, we're taking the Mercury.
Well, it's not that cold.
Yeah, and why did my ear just fall off?
Your ear just fell off?
Get ready for winter now with special clearance savings on the all-wheel drive V8-powered Mercury Mountaineer. Enter the Dick's Holiday Mercury Mountaineer sweepstakes from Dick's Sporting Goods and Mercury.
Well, did it look like your other ear? What?
Till next time, imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Traditional wireless companies have found interesting places to put information that could save money on your calling plan. But at Ariel, we do something rather revolutionary. We share it with you. We know things change, so every few months we show you if another plan might work better to save you money. That way you end up with information which could be nice.
Now, if I ran the post office, I'd do whatever it takes to reach customers faster, more efficiently.
Let's do our best.
I'd use thousands of planes. Have a command center to help avoid weather delays. We work late. Why, we deliver more mail in a week than FedEx and UPS do in a year.
It's happening at your U.S. Postal Service. We deliver.
Why have a sandwich that's been lying around under heat lamps when you can go to Subway and have one made hot on the spot? Try our steak and cheese, roasted chicken breast, and Subway melt. Hot sandwiches that aren't hamburgers. Take the Subway challenge. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
How do you stop a rhino from charging?
How?
Travel with Joseph Van Oss Photo Safari to Kenya's land of the Maasai.
How do you stop rhino? Stop a rhino from charging.
And you'll see a culture and a wildlife like no other on earth.
How do you stop a rhino from charging?
But bring your Visa card.
How do you stop a rhino from charging? Give it an American Express card.
Because this photo safari doesn't take American Express.
Wait till they hear this in Nairobi.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This is the center of the universe for vintage guitars. I'd like to be able to buy and sell vintage guitars over the web. If everyone on the internet bought just one guitar, I could retire.
Eileen, I reckon it's time I go into town and get us a new vehicle.
All right.
Leyland, what has gotten into you?
I don't know, but I like it.
I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her.
Tonight, Brendan Fraser hosts an all-new Saturday Night Live with musical guest Bjork. So how's it going at dress rehearsal right now? Well, she's excited. Plus, the president's secret plan.
Kiss me, Janet Reno. Kiss me.
And Xena finally meets her match.
Xena, you shall never destroy me.
It's an all-new Saturday Night Live tonight.
Just remember, the kid back there can throw, so if I give it to you, until you're on your own, you got to give yourself a good jump, all right? Okay, right now we're sitting.
Well, Davey Nelson.